YouTube, what is going on? Hope everyone is well. Welcome back. And do we have an episode today? Oh boy, I'm excited, that's for sure. We have a lot going on. Um, we essentially need to offer out more written deals before going on Wrestle World. We are starting our Tag Team Immortals tournament and also ending it all on this episode, which of course will crown our first ever tag team titles. And of course, introducing a new title to the promotion at long last. Kickoff Carnage 50, which will be the tournament finale and our first ever show on Wrestle World, will also be our last ever Kickoff Carnage show before we move on to probably our TV show pretty much round about then. Obviously, we'll be starting our broadcast deal with Wrestle World. And as well as that, we'll need to get maybe even a new ref, we'll need to get an announcer, a colour commentator, amongst a bunch of other stuff. But I thought with all this going on, it would be a good idea to show off the finances, which are looking real nice from last month. We jumped up by 3,000 in profit, which is really good because we're going to need these kind of numbers um, with Wrestle World coming up because it's going to cost us a lot. There's going to be a lot of expenses going on. We might even lose a little bit of money going on Wrestle World with everything else going on, maybe, but it's not going to be too major. As long as our pop keeps going up and if our ticket sales are rising like this every month, then we don't really have anything to worry about. But I'm going to quit yapping here. We're going to jump straight in to the first show of the episode and kick off our tag team tournament. Alright, here we go. It's showtime. We're not messing around today. We're expecting about the same amount of fans as last show, which is to be expected. It should take a nice jump up after this show if our popularity rises to 31, as of course we've kind of worked out that's how the game must be coded to do it. Um, so we'll use generic. Still a huge attendance though, over 600. We are almost maxed on creative energy. Stored wise, we have likely to succeed character idea. Let's try and maybe get another creative finish. Yes. Likely to succeed only on Sandman Winks. I mean, we'll keep it, but it's no use. A bit of a gamble. Oh god, let's try one more. We're wasting a lot of points here on this. A safe bet, but only where Hangman's set to be the victor. Oh, for God's sake. Right, one more. A bit of a gamble. Right, we're not going to do it anymore. And I've just overused a bunch. We have so many creative finishes now, I may have to use a couple on this show. Um, right, whatever. It's fine. Bit unlucky, but that's what it is. Locker room incidents. Hammer Hanley's turned up backstage and requested he be allowed to just hang out. Eh, we of course used him a little while back, not that long ago. He wanted to be used, but it turns out he has an explosive ring style, which isn't great. I'm going to just say no, or should we say yeah? Yeah, what? Sure, whatever. Doesn't matter. Perry gave the locker room a lift. Nice. He provided a crate of drinks, free drinks for everyone. That's good. Clark Smallbone, Perry's tag team partner, and Byron Holland were really getting on well backstage. Their good mood was infectious and lifted everyone's spirits. Okay, that's good. Architect runs some training drills for wait 6 students. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, there's a little spoiler, I guess, for anyone who maybe knows for our tag team tournament. God damn it! I was trying to keep it all under wraps, but I guess there's a announcement there. Breaking news. Thanks a lot, Architect. Jesus Christ. Cobra came to you backstage with an angle idea. Oh, okay. Usually it's character ideas or something they come with, but an angle idea, all right? We might use that tonight then. See what he's got. Maybe. There's been some talk backstage over how much Zippy has been influenced by Aces. Oh, for God's sake. It's just wasted another tag team that's debuting. How the hell can he be getting influenced by him and he's just came? The guy's just turned up backstage, Zippy. What the hell's going on? Over how much Zippy's being influenced by Aces High. The guy's just turned up. There's no way. It's his first ever show. God's sake, Zippy, get it together, man. God damn it. We're not doing any local. Let's just book this show. God damn it. Okay, let's just get on with this. All right, here we go. I've started the show just so we don't see the matches. Uh, Keep it a little surprise, or what surprise is left after the pre-show. But we start off with Davis Wayne. This is a two-parter segment. Gets the show off to a strong start, gets the crowd hoaring. It's essentially Davis Wayne coming out, not necessarily to complain, but in a way he is. You know, he's not really one to complain. He just gets on with the job. Kind of sticks himself to himself. Does have a bit of an ego, like the architect, as he claims, or truly believes himself. You know, he's the best. He's the triple threat. You know, he's good in the air, good on the grappling, good on the brawling, very good all rounder. And he's essentially calling it architect how he always needs help. You know, he always needs someone to come to his aid somehow. And if it wasn't for Sasquatch last show, he would have a title round his waist right now. And as he's talking, doing his thing, the architect music hits and he comes out. And they start going back and forth. And Davis says, you know, there's all this buzz around new tag team champs and new the whole show is pretty much themed for tag teams tonight. Every single match. So why don't we go off on a tag team? And I already know your tag team partner would be Sasquatch, you know, your little bitch. So you should have nothing to worry about. Tonight, main event, me against you, with any tag team member of their choosing, since you love trying to get the upper hand on everyone. How about we fight and I'll have a backup. An architect, he doesn't care. He's laughing at him. You know, he has Sasquatch. So he says, whatever, like sure. If it's what I need to do to get rid of you, to leave me alone, and you're almost coming across as desperate as Papa Swole at this point, like whatever. So it's booked in. Tag team match, main event. Architect and Sasquatch against Davis and whoever he can muster up to somehow be his tag team partner at this point. 63 ratings, pretty solid. Davis got slightly less. He was part 1, so he gets a 48. Architect brings in a 70. But he didn't do well without a script, which seems to be. We sometimes, like I mentioned before, we sometimes get this with Mutant, but not all the time. Sometimes he gets a bonus from it, but it seems like Davis, more often than not, doesn't do well without one. So that's something going forward I'm going to need to make sure we fix. Otherwise, it's just poor booking on my end at this point, being lazy. Architect improvised well though, got the crowd hotter. Like I said, show off to a strong start, can't complain. As we then move in to another warm up match, gets the crowd hotter, so it does its job. And it's Cobra and Jules teaming up with Aid Nelson against Verbal Slam, teaming up with the big monster himself, Mutant. And it's essentially Mutant who gets his team over the finishing line. Not quite single handedly, but close. And he gets the pin on Aid Nelson, giving Mutant and Verbal Slam the win. He pulls in a 58 to Mutant, so he was the man of the match, essentially. Cobra with a 54, not far behind. Jules with a 46. I feel like Dr. Funkenstein always gets a 41. Recently, I've kind of noticed it, and now I can't unsee it. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 shows in a row now, but he's gotten it a lot before. He seems to be just stuck. He seems to be just stuck on 41. Zippy with a pretty bad 33. Same with Aid. With our promotion now hitting 30 pop, once we get to small size, these ratings won't cut it because we'll be expecting at least 35 segments, obviously. 35 rated segments. You want your segment to be on par with your popularity, but I would also like my in-ring performances to be on par with the popularity. So these guys are just making the cut right now in terms of what's good enough, which I'll need to keep in mind. But good match, as I believe we're now moving in to our first Tag Team Immortals match, our first quarterfinals match of the night, first to 4, in front of 612 people as well, by the way. Boom. Oh my god, we're starting off strong. A 60 rated match. Oh my god. Superb wrestling and great heat. The Minnesota Awesome beat the debuting Rich and Famous when Clark Smallbone pins Jackpot Jordan. So Minnesota, our own tag team here in PWW, they advance. Most of the tag teams who are debuting from other shows for the tournament or tag teams I've had on my shortlist, or I know them, like I've had them in mind. So this is also essentially a little trial for them to see how good they are. That we might, they're only signed on handshake deals, but we might potentially keep them, and bring them back or keep them as part of our roster after the tournament. And these are very good ratings. Jake Idol got a 55, Jackpot Jordan gets a 48. They both debuted, really good gimmicks. So these guys are high on my radar for potentially keeping them around. They also have great chemistry teaming together, which I believe that's just random as well. That's not like, I don't think that's set in stone for these guys. I don't think that's a thing. So that's huge. That's like even more. There's honestly not many more signs to keep them. They add, of course, heels, giving off the swagger gimmick, High Roller in Matini Idol. I've never seen that word before. I don't know what that is. I need to Google that. But they're basically two typical heels full of themselves. The only downside to this tag team tournament is a lot of the guys we brought in, not all of them, but a lot of them cost quite a lot of money. So we're paying quite a lot on worker fees this show. We average like $100, $150 for our top guys right now, whereas some of these guys are worth like $400-500 a show, which we can afford, of course, but we're trying to get on Wrestle World, so we're trying to save our cash right now and get as much monthly profit as possible. But huge start to the tournament. Minnesota Awesome advance. They pulled in very good ratings. They're doing really good. Their popularity is going up quick too. Minnesota Awesome, they're on a very, very good momentum push right now, and rightly so. As we then move into a 65, it's getting even better. Oh my god. I mean, if there was any match to do really good, it would be this one. And it's actually the outsiders to win. The Long Beach Crew debutees have beaten the LA Stars when Cali Slick pinned LA Star 2. This match I've kind of messed up, but it's not that big a deal. But this was supposed to be a cheap win for the Long Beach Crew, but it looks like I forgot to add it in. LA Star both pulling 60 plus ratings. That's crazy. Aces High and Cali do pretty good. They're like mid to low 50s. Both get a great rating as well on their gimmicks, rapper gimmick and badass gimmick. These guys are also heels. So these guys are also people to put in contention. The two debuting tag teams so far have been really good in these matches. I don't know if they're going to get. They're definitely not going to get better in terms of the ratings for these tag team tournaments. I think maybe the two best matches of the night for our tournament have been the first two, which is fine. It doesn't need to go in sort of chronicle order. Very marketable gimmick and small penalty to psychology and damage. Losses damage popularity more than usual. That's fine. So the Long Beach Crew, along with Minnesota Awesome, advance, and they'll be up against each other in the semi-final. And our next two quarterfinal matches, up first is a 59 rated, and it's both tag teams are debuting. We have Young and Wasted, which is Taylor Norton and Brett Kyle. This is a fairly young tag team. These guys are about in their mid-20s. And then we have Tavon Blake Jr., who I've had on my shortlist for a while, and E. Soterick, his tag team partner. Most of these gimmick debuts look pretty good. Great, very good, great. We get a 59 rating, which, considering it's two totally brand new teams to the promotion, I'll take it, honestly. Brett doesn't do great on his gimmick though, and he also seemed off his game, which isn't great. But the ratings on all these tag teams are really good, considering. Tavon pulls in a 54, Taylor Norton gets a 55. Brett would have gotten probably around about the same if he wasn't off his game. Bit of a shame on his teen idol gimmick and the frat boy gimmick for Taylor. So I believe these guys are also heels. I think I brought two faces in and two heels, so I think actually maybe Aces High, who beat LA Star. I think maybe that wasn't on purpose then. I think those guys might actually be faces. We'll have a look. We'll go over the roster soon. But it's a win for Team Iron. They beat Young and Wasted, the younger boys. When it's Tavin Blake Jr. pins Taylor Norton with a pile driver. So another huge one. Good debuts all round. Let's have a look at the changes. Oh my god. It's losing to comedy gimmicks. Never mind. Large penalty to charisma during matches and angles isn't great though, but I don't think he has great charisma anyway, so it wasn't really benefiting. It wasn't really benefiting him in the first place. But there we have it. Our third team to advance, Team Iron, 59 rating, still really good to be honest. Then up next we have an angle, 54, and it's the Past Masters who are up next. They're in action, and they're basically, they're talking their shit, saying the whole reason they founded and came here through the guidance of Architect is they've been waiting. They've literally been waiting for this moment for the tag team tournament or the tag team titles to be introduced so they can make sure they're the first going down in history as they deserve to be. Historian actually did well here. He's not even good on the mic, I don't think. I need to double check this because he got a good rating last angle and it wasn't even on purpose. But Sandman gets penalised for improvising badly, which I'll need to keep in mind. We still get a 54 though, which is really good. But as the past masters, they're talking themselves up, doing their thing. Basically, just they don't know who they're up against. No one knows. Come on then, whoever's coming from another promotion, whoever you've got, because if it's anything to go by, the other three tag team matches that we just saw, then this tournament's going to be an absolute walk in the park. And then the music hits, and everyone loses their shit because after 3-4 months, they're back. They are fucking back. Blue Dragon and Hangman, who both got injured to the hands of Blueprint, the Blueprint stable, basically everyone in Blueprint, before Papa Swole's reign came to an end. The music hits, the fans go crazy. Well, the fans go mild. These guys aren't really hugely over, but big baby faces. And not only are they back, but they're absolutely back with a bang because they beat Sandman Winks and Historian when Blue Dragon pins Sandman with a Dragon Driver. So we haven't saw them obviously since they got injured, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't plan on keeping them all out for this long. It was like kayfabe injury, obviously, but the more and more time went on, and the more I knew this tag team tournament was coming up, this I feel like was just too good of an opportunity not to bring them back this way. On paper, it does the worst out of all the tag team tournaments, but in terms of the history and the story, and the culture, this is the best. This is the best match. That's why I put it on. I put it last. It's a bit dampened by all this red text. I must say, Historian is getting a gimmick that's getting stale, which I'm actually really, really surprised. This is the first time I'm seeing this note. I haven't saw this at all yet with anyone. So while it's popped up, I'm going to quickly add this on my notes because I'll forget. Historian stale gimmick. But yeah, this is huge, huge, huge. The past masters are out the tournament just as quick as they get put in it, with Hangman and Dragon getting one up over them, knocking them out the tournament on their return, which the past masters and Architect as well is not going to be happy about this. Pretty solid ratings though. Historian obviously being off his game didn't do great. Sandman actually still did really good considering he was really off his game. Oh, the Historian was really off his game too. Oh god, Jesus Christ, what the hell are they doing? Yeah, good thing they lost then. They didn't even deserve to win. But huge win for Dragon and Hangman. So they're through to the semis. They'll go up against Team Iron, which of course is E. Soterick and Tavin Blake Jr. in the semi-finals next show. Whereas we have Minnesota Awesome going up against is it Aces High Club? Aces High and Cali Slick in the other semi-finals match. So the tournament's been great so far. Actually, those ratings are really good. 56 being the lowest one, I'll take it. to be honest, is we then move into the sort of trickling on feud at the minute with Davis and Architect, the back and forth, and we actually have a huge shock. The first big shock, actually, though, is the creative finish failed, which, honestly, I'm not that surprised. Our creative finishes right now are not looking great in terms of guaranteed successes. But 62 in ring, so we get the best match of the night, sticking with the tag team theme. And we actually have a huge shock, as you can see. Um, Exceptional match. We had Davis Wayne. He teams up with his someone he also has a lot of issues with, Logan Wolfsbane, because Logan, I mean, just like a lot of people, Logan hates the Architect more than he probably dislikes Davis, so he agrees to team up with him. Arguably the toughest team up to go against in Architect's shoes here. So as much as Sasquatch would have helped, as you can see, Davis Wayne and Logan win. When Davis Wayne Newton he pins Architect clean with a fisherman suplex after there'd been a bad miscommunication with Sasquatch McGraw. So it is essentially Sasquatch's fault. The big oath is just, he has a short fuse. He's not really paying attention. He isn't tactical at all, and he's not really blending and mashing well with the Architect, and it essentially leads to their downfall. When not only do they lose, but Architect gets pinned. He doesn't just lose; he gets pinned clean, which is one of the first times. I think he's only ever been pinned or lost clean. I think maybe only once before, and it was to Papa Swole, or maybe twice to Papa, and it's both been to Papa. So this is huge. The fact the champion has been pinned clean to Davis means that even though he beat Davis in that submission match, it looks like their back and forth might not be over. Davis is still very much the man in contention, even though he just fought for the belt. Maybe it should be done again in different circumstances, so it would be a much cleaner affair without Architect cheating. But show rating won't be huge. I don't think our main event wasn't even the best match, actually, now I think about it. The 65 with Long Beach Crew. My apologies. But we do get a 62, which is huge. Our tag team influenced card does really good. So it's a really good start to the show, honestly. I had a bit of a worrying feeling that it would be too much work for the referee or the road agent, but I think we just about managed, albeit the show was pretty much fully booked to the point I couldn't even fit in another promo. But we still do good, really good work. 62. We should go up in pop. Who should this go to? You know what? It's probably wise we give it to the people with the lowest morale to try and fix this. I don't want to keep throwing money at them right now. So we'll just point them on good performance. Sasquatch, he didn't. He got like a 40 odd something. He was the weak link, big time. As to be expected though, when you're in the ring with Logan and Davis and Architect. Seemed pleased. So that's pretty much no effect. Financial, we actually still made money, even though we paid like double what we usually would. We paid just over 4,000, but we made almost 5,000 in ticket sales. So we take 1,000. So that's actually really positive, considering there was a lot of higher earners on that card. Popularity does rise, which is good stuff, to 31, which should help our attendance for the next September event. Media scrum's over, so we're not even going to waste any time. Like I say, it's a big episode today, so we're jumping straight in to the semi-finals of our tag team tournament, and we'll also see how things progress with Davis and Architect as well, which will be good times. I'm excited to get this going. Okay, I was advancing my way to the next show and this popped up, so I think it's probably a sign, rather than waiting until after next show, we should give out the increases. I'm going to give him 75 and then assume I can still offer him a new written deal. Or can we just, I wonder if I negotiate with him now. Let's just do that and see if that fixes it. We'll go written per show, 2 years. It doesn't, let's try 240. 270. Fine. 270. What would it be for 3 years? 500. Two is fine. 2 years for Pappas Wool at 270 per show is pretty good, I think. Although when we move to a TV show, that's 5 shows in 1 month. If I get my calculator here for an exact 250 times 5, if he was used for the whole month, every single show, he would take away 1,300, which I don't know if that's better. What would he want per month? If that's 1,300 and we said per month, we'll give you like 800 per month. What would you say to that? And for 2 years? Oh, he's not even giving us an amount. He just says it's way less. Right, whatever. Per show, 270, 2 years. Over it. Okay. Just accept that. And then we're doing whatever it is we're doing. Contract negotiations, okay. What's this? Just a shortlist. Right. Let me see. Contracts. Now, we already gave it a few, as you can see, but I don't want to lock down more of these guys before the broadcaster begins. Logan Wolfsbane would be a good one, but I wonder how much he's going to want. We're doing Pappas Wool. What's Zippy on 40? Let's get all the smaller guys out of the way. So written per show, 2 years, save template. Just call it written to 2 years. At 10% merchandise, his travel cost is not covered, which I'm assuming he would do that for all of them. Let's try that then. Make offer. Right, Zippy's done. Easy. Who else? Historian? Yes, we probably want Historian, especially if it's going to be $50 for the next 2 years we're paying him. Apply template. 2 years, $50. Travel is not covered. Beautiful. That's perfect. Taylor Norton, Tav 1 is obviously part of the tag team. We'll leave them for now. Stevie Stanley, we may as well get him as well. 40 per show, written, 2 years, not covered. Nice, no complaints. That's fine. Sasquatch, he is annoyed at 135 per show. He's got quite a lot of pop, and it is just going up as well without me really influencing it. He's valued at 260 per show, and right now we pay him, was it 185? 135. I don't actually know what to do with Sasquatch. What's Logan Wolfsbane? He gets 185. Oh my god, he's valued at 400. Jesus Christ. We got Pappas Wool on a bargain at 270 then. 400. Right, I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, I think. There won't be too much more to mention on it, I don't think, than sitting here and going through them all. It would just be some of the tag teams and some of our other guys that I can get on the cheap, secure them for a cheap 2-year deal, I think. But I'll come back to you guys when we get to the next show. Alright, false alarm. We're back. I have offered all written deals. I think everyone has a written deal now for 2 years. Well, offered out. The only people I haven't offered it out is to Logan and Sasquatch. Just because I want to see how it looks once everyone else is signed on a written, to see. I don't know why I'm holding off on offering both of them. Maybe I should just do it 400 is such a big step up. His pop's good, but I don't know. It's more as the broadcasting. I mean, it is only going to get worse, isn't it? In terms of how much he's going to cost, I should just do it. Yeah, I probably should. Him and Sasquatch, honestly. Yeah. Okay, let's do that quick. And then the reason I'm back so soon is we actually need the next show at the end of the month, and then the show next month. There's only about a week or even less in between both of them, so we actually need to get an announcer, a colour commentator, and maybe a new referee. We'll have a look, and I thought we'll go through it together. Why not? Rather than cutting it off for this show, since it'll only be three episodes or three shows. Sorry, this episode. Oh my god, I can't. I literally can't multitask. It's embarrassing. Right, 2 years written. He's getting 260. Let's see if we can put it down to. Let's see what he says about 220. Not covered with his. We actually, like, maybe 90% of the people I offered contracts to, most of them agreed to not covered on their travel, which was good too. Saves us that little bit of extra money. Right, 220. If you're only paying me per show, then I would definitely need you to cover my travel. Oh, does that mean he's accepting 220? Hold on. On a written deal, are they guaranteed to get paid per show even if they're not used on the show? I didn't actually think about that. I was under the impression, obviously with it being an ironclad, it means it's like legal. It's like a legal binding, so they can't break out of it. If someone comes in and offers them an exclusive deal, like a big company, it means no matter what, they need to see this contract out with me. So I essentially keep them for 2 years. Is the gist of it. But I didn't think, is this per show I do or per show they're involved in? Oh god, I honestly don't. Um, how would I even know? I'm guessing it must be. It must be shows they're in, like per show they're in. Surely it's got to be, because yeah, it must be because it gives you the option per month, right? Right, guys. Right. I'm going to assume it is because I'm pretty sure. Oh, here we go. If a worker is to be paid per show, he gets a set amount for any show that he appears on. Right, okay, yeah, I was right. Okay. I don't know why I all of a sudden just thought of that. Right, let's cover his cover his trans travel. 220. Oh no, he wants about 260. Fine. Whatever. Can I do 260 and take this back off then? No, he wants it covered fair. 260. Given my popularity, I think I deserve a higher cut. 15 should be fine. Nice. Out of all the people to ask for more merchandise, the only ones to do so far, apart from Sasquatch, has been the Minnesota Awesome, which I find just quite funny when you think about all the other people we have with really good pop. They're the ones who ask for it. It just shows the power of the broadcasting deal when they have pop everywhere in America rather than just one region. It really the game really acknowledges them as being way, like way more. Right. So where's Logan? He's going to want a lot here. Right now we're paying him like 180, was it? Yeah, 185. And now he's going to be getting closer to 400. Let's see if we can put it down. Let's try 320. What do you think about that, Logan? Written deal for 2 years, 340. You know what? If we're getting it down from 400 to 340, I'll take it. Oh, well, not that much. That's like 3 million per show. Jesus Christ, we can't give you that much, dude. You're not that good. Not yet, anyway. 340. Higher cut, okay, 15%. What do you think about that? He wants more, right? 20. What about 20? All right, it's okay. That's whatever. That'll do. We managed to get him down a little bit. Right. As for announcers in colour, or play-by-play, sorry, it's called now in this version. We don't have any. Obviously, we don't need them because we're not on a broadcaster. They were only tiny in size. I believe I have one or two shortlisted, but rather than doing that, we are going to we're going to actually look at referee first, because we've had a referee since day one, Dale Kenny, professional, pretty decent guy, doesn't cause any issues backstage. But what's his refereeing skill? Right, 60. Okay. Now I think we can keep Dale because he's on. We haven't given him a written deal. He's still on a handshake. It's no point in not being handshake. Um, and I reckon we bring in another ref. We're not going to be moving our show lens, so one referee is still fine. But yeah, I think we'll just bring in one more if we can. At minimum 70 refereeing. We'll do two higher. Works in the USA. Gender, I don't care. Role, I guess we'll change it to referee because some people might be good at refereeing but not actually a referee. Right, we only have 4 and they're all 100 or 110. Who's the best? Wait, hold on. People, quiet, intense. Right, so maybe we'll avoid you, Ryan Holland. Is he the best one? I get bet 72. No, he's actually the worst, so that's even better. 78. 78, you're the best. This guy, the quiet personality. Matthew White, the 59-year-old, working with. Oh, he's based in Canada though. I don't know travel cost wise how that'll be. He's only quiet. It's his only thing. What about the other two? Where are they based? Great Lakes. So he's actually based where I am. And New England. What's your skill? 74 and yours was the 73. Did we just get Matthew? 78 is pretty solid. I think we just do it. I don't think his travel costs will be that much more expensive, really. But does the refereeing really matter that much just for an extra couple points? Holy smokes, this guy's booking skills 85. Wilson Carlisle, a 39-year-old American non-wrestler. Okay, I think we're going to bring this guy in instead. We can even add him onto the booking team. Yeah, I think this guy wins. I think 100 per show, 74 refereeing, so it's 14 up from our current ref, and he has 85 booking skill. Yeah, I think you might win, Wilson. We'll just go handshake. I think, yeah, handshake's fine. Cover is travelled, sure. 100 per show. That's really good, actually. And I think we pay Dale, our current ref, like 60, so it's only $40 more. It will be maybe a little extra with travel, but that's a good upgrade on our ref. Now, let's go in and do our play-by-play, which will also go for 70. Play-by-play commentator, can work in the USA, to hire. Alright, there's not a huge portion here either. If I remember correctly, what one of these did I have on my... I don't think I actually had any of these guys on my shortlist. It must have been colour commentators. Okay, so cost-wise, I don't know why you're popping up. Oh, he's only on a handshake deal with RIP, which is essentially one of the developmental companies for one of the bigger guys. So 500. Mitch is 900. I recognise Mitch. He's really good. Yeah, he's also the owner of Pittsburgh Steel Wrestling though. I'm not paying $900. He's probably one of the best play-by-play announcers in the whole game too, which is crazy. Right, Remington, I think we'll avoid him too because he's with RIP, so his schedule will be crazy, probably. Right, we have Marvin, who works at Mid-Atlantic. He's 400. Lee Bambino, who works with the Puerto Rican company. He's 500. Then we have 600. Jack the Colt, of course, very, very famous Canadian wrestler. Oh my god, Dwayne Fry. Oh, his contract's expiring, that's why. He's the play-by-play announcer on SWF, who obviously they're going to re-sign him. There's no point in looking at him. Then we have Alfonso. Now, so we have basically... realistically, we have Marvin, Lee, and Alfonso. And Alfonso is unemployed, which is making me gravitate towards him. Let me see, he's 71. play-by-play. Lee Bambino's 76 and Marvin's 72, so he's the worst out of all three. But he is, I think he's the cheapest too, right? No, he's same as Marvin. Marvin's actually the booker for Mid Atlantic. His booking skill's also 86. Oh my god. Do we also get Marvin? I don't know if we actually even have two more spaces on our booking team, but these booking skills are crazy. 72 refereeing is really good though. But then Alfonso's. This is. Oh, he's based in Mexico actually. Never mind. I didn't notice. Let's go for Marvin. 400 a show is wild though. To be, I think, considering none of our wrestlers even get that per show, and Marvin's getting 400. Yeah, that is kind of wild. 400 per show, and we're going to be moving to doing 5 shows soon per month. So he's going to be getting, he's going to be stealing, he's going to be robbing us of $2,000 a month. I mean, it's got to be done, hasn't it? Really, there's what else can I do? Let's try to lower it. Will you take 320, Marvin? I must say, Marvin, you look really nice with that bald head of yours. I'm gonna sweet talk him. 360. All right, that's. I mean, it's better than 400. Oh my god, I've done it again. Oh my god, come on, Sam, type. I've got my mic stand in the way of my keyboard. That's my excuse. I can't even. I am literally. I can't see the keyboard essentially. Right, 360 for Marvin. He's a professional. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, he's also creative. I wonder if that also means new ideas for other people. Probably not. But just like the referee, Marvin has very good booking skill. Now, before we go on to look for a colour commentator, I want to see the booking team. So we have 4. How many people can go on the booking team? Does it tell me? I want to know. I feel like it's 5. I think we only have 1 more space, but I don't know. I don't really necessarily want to take anyone off the booking team because it can really piss them off, as far as I know. Yeah, 5 people. So if I wanted to add a new ref and our play-by-play announcer, who arguably should be on it because they're both 80 plus, I would need to take someone off, which, looking at the skill list, would be me, which is quite funny. So actually, that would work because I can't be pissed off at myself, right? That would not make any sense. And if Marvin is the head booker of Mid Atlantic Wrestling, maybe he should be the head booker of my booking team. That would make the most sense, right? We'll need to keep that in mind because we can add him. We can replace me with Marvin, and then we can add in our ref also to the booking team. Unless we somehow find a colour commentator who's also amazing at booking skill. But that's good. That's 2 for 1. We just got with our ref and our play-by-play. So let's see if we can get a 70 colour commentator and see what we've got here. See how many options we got. Okay, there's way more. Holy shit. Right, first off, right, let's see this. Let's see prices. 6, 7, 400. What the hell? He's one of the highest paid TV presenters in America. Jesus Christ. 27,000 per month. He's not even that good. Well, he's not. He's technically not a colour commentator. He's more of a presenter, like personality, which makes sense here. But Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Anyway, 600, 400 for. Oh, Grace. She's unemployed too. 290. I think she's actually on my shortlist. I'm pretty sure she's one I've added. And Tim at the bottom, he looks familiar. Yes, he was one too. I think that was because they were the cheapest though. So we have quite a lot to go through here. Right, let me actually take a look at Grace because she's so cheap compared to the other ones. And she's actually 74, which isn't bad. Let's go for like a minimum 70, 80, 70. Tim's 71. So he wouldn't be a bad shout either. MC Motormouth. I think honestly, looking at this list, a lot of them are employed. I honestly am not against just going with Grace without even looking at everyone, to be honest. 74 is not bad. And she also is professional. Retired wrestler. Yeah, I think we just do this. We just go with Grace, honestly. We won't beat around the bush here and look for too long. I think we just get Grace in. So there we go, we're sorted. Amongst all the other written deals, we got Wilson, ref slash booker. We got Marvin, who's play-by-play slash booker, and Grace at a very humble $290. So yeah, that's us pretty much covered. I think it's time now, yeah, we can jump on to our next show before we debut. Debut our new signings, essentially, you could call them, on Kickoff Carnage 50. So let's do it. Alright, here we go. It's time. It's semi-finals night of our tag team tournament. We are expecting a nice bump. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. We're going up by another 50, 60 odd fans. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Give me the money, please. 681 fans expected. Oh no, what's happened? Despite his best efforts to make alternative arrangements, Aid Nelson has been stranded. That's okay. Oh my god, that could have been so much worse. You know what, Aid? You deserve it. You take the night off. You can go on a little vacay. Well, I mean, I say go on a vacay. He's stranded at the airport, so he's not going anywhere. But that's fine. That's fine. Right. We created a bunch of finishes that are a bit of a gamble. Last show's creative finish didn't work, so maybe we just take another gamble on one of these and hope. I mean, we have to use them anyway. Maybe we just use a bunch on the show. Try and use all three or something. Hangman has a creative finish, which okay, fair enough. Sandman Winks does too. There's no point in saving it though. I mean, we're almost max, so we can't really save. Let's do character ideas. Right, near certainty, that's perfect. Can we get 2 in a row? Smile. Oh, we can. Beautiful. And let's do angle. Oh my god, 3 for 3. Let's not even risk. That's fine. That's fine. Let's just. That's a good omen. Architect does more training. LA Star 2 and Jake Idle apparently butted heads. Yeah, Jake Idle, I'm pretty sure, is a bit of a menace. Yeah, selfish personality. He's a bad boy. Okay, that was pretty short and sweet. Inspire, we are saving for next show, I believe. Next show isn't necessarily going to be a huge show. It's just more historical, you know, for the culture. Our last Kickoff Carnage show. Yeah, do nothing. Beautiful. Right, it's time to book. I will be back in uno momento. Alright, it's showtime. Kickoff Carnage 49 semi-finals of the tag tournament. And also, as the show begins, we get announced tonight's main event is that instead of the usual title fight, the boss has decided that on Kickoff Carnage 50, Davis Wayne will essentially get another shot at the title after beating Architect clean. But not only will it be against Architect, but the winner of tonight's triple threat match will also be added to the title fight. So it'll be a triple threat main event on Kickoff Carnage 50 for the Great Lakes champion, and it'll be either Logan, Papa Swole, and Mutant. So Papa Swole has been given a golden ticket opportunity to get back at the Architect and meet him probably much sooner than Architect anticipated. But we'll see. Mutant's also on a huge steamroll moment at the minute. He's untouchable. And of course, Logan Willspain's Logan. He's a bit like Davis, where he's very good at everything, very, very hard to beat. But we start off the show on a much lighter note, a much more comedy-friendly note, with We Want the Funk Show 7. And it starts the show off really good. I like this. The Sea of Green, I love it. We essentially had part one, the Doc starting off the show, getting the crowd hot, gets the show off to a strong start, and then he essentially is interviewing his guest, which is Tennessee Williams, with Zippy as his little side piece, essentially. Just doing his thing, entertaining the crowd. But it ends up, as it does quite a few times for the Doc, it goes AWOL when his guest, essentially, Tennessee's more, he's not really like a serious character, but he essentially thought he was coming on, to perform some of his music. But the Doc didn't to get the hint, and it ends up all kicking off in true Doc fashion. Oh my god, sorry, that was so loud. I didn't have time to mute the mic. I just sneezed. Bless me there. Jesus Christ. But anyway, yes, 66 start, very good. And then it goes into a match. And as we've seen before from the Doc's little We Want the Funk show, he gets himself beat up essentially when he loses to Tennessee William in the match following after his show. Tennessee does cheat. He hits him with a foreign object, cheating to win. But Tennessee picks up another win, pulls in a 51 rating, gets the crowd hotter too. So this whole segment and match did its job. Gets the crowd hotter, gets us off to a strong start. 2 very good segment ratings in front of 675 people. So nothing but W's here. Oh, Doctor actually got a 42. He's went up one from his 41. Also, since we've been teaming him up with Zippy, his popularity has been slowly going up, considering a lot of the shows they're not fighting, they're just in segments, but it's working. Slowly but surely, it's doing its job. But 52, very good, as we move into a tag match, but not part of our tag team tournament. I wanted to see a little bit more of Young and Wasted, because they're young, and out of all the tag teams we assigned to the tournament, they're the cheapest by far. So the idea of keeping them here is quite alluring. But one of them got a really, really bad gimmick rating, which was a shame. But of course, they lost on the quarterfinals last show. But they won tonight. They beat Hot Property, who are not very hot property right now. They've not had a great start to their PWW career. They take the loss here. Brett Kyle pins Byron with the go home. It gets a 51 rating, so very good. Pretty good all round. Lachlan was a little bit lackluster, but nothing too major. Taylor brings in a 51, 45 for Brett, 40 for Byron. It's not horrible, but it's a good one for Young and Wasted. Will we see more of them? I'm still not too sure. But these whole tournaments and bringing in all the new faces is always a good chance for us to sort of scout people. Because looking at someone's stats and their attributes and everything is one thing, but actually seeing them in action under your promotion, under your roof that's when it really matters. But good show from these two. They get the win, 51, pretty solid. As we move into the reunited, and it feels so good. Papa Swole backstage meets up with the semi-finalists as buddies since their return. It's the first time they've been able to meet up, and it's a happy reunion. Lots of hugs, lots of kisses on the lips, lots of smiles, and he wishes them best luck, the best of luck on their match tonight against Team Iron, which on paper are probably the best team in the tournament in terms of like their popularity. They're very over. They costed me a lot of fucking money, let's put it that way. So good rating, 63. Of course, they also wish Papa Swole good luck. He's fighting in the number 1 contender main event tonight. It's a very wholesome segment backstage from the baby faces. As we then move into the match itself, and Papa Swole's good luck seemed to have rubbed off because they shocked everyone by returning last show after being out injured for months at the hands of the past masters, who they beat and knocked at the tournament. But they've now gave us another shock for a totally different reason, and it's because they've beaten Team Iron. They seem to have all the momentum since returning on their side, the fans behind them, and they win. Hangman pins Taven Blake Jr. with a choke slam. 55 rating, pretty decent. And they advance, our first team to go into the final at the chance of winning gold. Dragon and Hangman, been here since day one as well. Both actually started as heels, and they're the only two people I believe I've actually ever changed, or done a turn, you could say, essentially. And they're both teaming up now, good buds with Papa Swole, of course, a lot of history together. And yeah, they're in the final. Pretty solid ratings overall. Hangman, obviously, we know is very, very much better than Blue Dragon. But I'm hoping with this push here with Blue Dragon, it'll get his ratings up, because he's not bad at all. He's, of course, our 2-time Young Wrestler of the Year as well. We did use Hangman's creative finish, which helped boost us up to a 55. And we have our first finalists. And the next match for the next finalists gets a bit of a better rating, 59, and it's our very own Minnesota Awesome beat the Long Beach Crew when Clark pins Callie with a double flying elbow. So there we have it. Minnesota Awesome will be going up against Hangman and Dragon at the Tag Team Immortals tournament finale, and the winner, of course, crowned Tag Team Champs. History in the making. Very good ratings. Clark pulled in a 61, which is huge. Perry gets a 55. So really good stuff. These guys are actually valued very good, which is a bit not what I expected when I brought them in. But obviously we gave out new contracts to pretty much everyone, and their new contracts are quite high. They get a little bit more merchandise split. I think they work for IPW, who are also they're already on a broadcaster deal, so hence they have popularity everywhere in America, which wasn't the case when we brought them in. It's kind of changed very, very quick. So they're steamrolling it right now. They're doing really, really good stuff. 59 rating, as shown. As we then move in backstage, the Architect, he's in his little locker room with all his goons. I just didn't have them in the promo, so I didn't have to pay for them, but for the immersion's sake, everyone's there. And he's essentially going over the game plan. He's reassuring the past masters not to worry. It didn't go to plan, but rest be assured, Hangman and Dragon will pay for what they did. But we have more important things to focus on right now, and that's me and my belt is at jeopardy right now. Because not only do we have to worry about dealing with Davis on Kickoff Carnage 50, but one of these guys up next I'm going to have to deal with too. And as it sort of pans out, the camera it's like one big shot. The camera sort of goes off to the TV that's in the locker room in the back, and it pans over to the main event, which is just about to start. Logan, Mutant, Papa Swole, the winner, will be fighting in a triple threat for the title next show against Davis and Architect. And that pulls us in a 66. Creative finish was a success. Exceptional match, and it's Papa Swole. He beats Logan and Mutant when Papa Swole pins Mutant with a boom shakalaka. So just like that, he's back. Our 3 Great Lakes champions are all going up against each other at the main event of Kickoff Carnage 50 to really end the Kickoff Carnage franchise, to really end it on a bang. Pretty solid ratings here too. 63 from Papa, he got the best. It's 59 for Logan and Mutant. Really good stuff. And so it's going to be Papa Swole, Davis, and Architect, which I honestly don't remember the last time all 3 fought against each other. So I'm expecting big things. Putting on a good show. The fans are disappointed at the storyline further during the show. We did further it during an angle, but it obviously wasn't enough, which is a bit weird because usually it is. Or maybe I'm also using them in matches and not realising, but anyway, it's not bad. It's fine. It doesn't matter for this segment, you could say. Show increased though. I don't think her popularity is actually going to go up, but we'll give this. Logan actually didn't complain this time around, which was a shock. He didn't complain about losing to Papa Swole. He did. I think he actually did a little bit. He was unhappy rather than furious, and we kept him strong, and he shut his mouth. So we didn't have to worry about Logan losing tonight. So we'll praise him for not being a tight arse, basically. Stuck up arsehole. We also actually, our new ref that we just signed, he debuted on this card, just because it doesn't really matter, but we'll see the announcer and colour commentator next show. As for who else, you know what? Give it to Smallbone. He hit a 60 for I think the first time, which was good. Some good stuff. Both seemed to please. Financial report. We made $2,000. We also made 5,400 on ticket sales, which is huge. I also realised before this show that we've already spent more money this month before this show on workers than we did the whole of last month. So that's definitely going to be higher. But I think we'll actually still make money, which is crazy. Popularity recap. Oh, we actually went up again, which is also huge. That means for Kickoff Carnage 50, we're going to see another jump in our pop, which is great. We went up 2 points this month. That's huge. Great end to September. And speaking of great ends to September, we are not cutting because we have a bit of a monumental historical moment that's been spoken about since day one. I probably haven't shut up about it. You guys are probably tired of listening to me. But as at the start, the first week of next month, we'll have a Kickoff Carnage 50. We need to get our production in order and offer a deal to Wrestle World. So let's do it. We're doing it right now. We're going straight in. Where is production? Boom. Right. So production values, we need semi-pro, which amateur, we don't care. We are, so semi-pro. So upgrading it will involve 1,000 fee. We don't really care about the fees. It's more the costs, the monthly costs. So this is going to be 1,500 per month plus 500 per night of shows. But I've already worked all this out. It's going to be about 7-8 grand. So we'll upgrade this to semi-pro, which we need it at for Wrestle World. Level 3 of 7. We've took a big jump. We need hired pro on broadcasting, which I believe is also level 3, which will be 2,500 per night of shows. So that's $5,000 a month. It's going to be, because upgrading it's free. So that's really nice of them to do. Music needs to be generic, which is free to upgrade, but it costs 100 per night of shows. Now, I don't know if we can still get a penalty, because I've never had it happen. I've only ever heard about it. You can get like copyright claimed with your music once you go on a broadcaster if it's not high enough. And I think the fine can be wild, like a crazy. So does this mean we're now licensed? You know what? It's only 250 per night of shows. I'm going to just move it to level 3, even if it matters or not. What about level 4? Holy shit. It costs 10,000 per month. You employ a professional musician to create custom made tracks for you to use in the entrance. Alright, okay, so that's like where you. Okay, level 3 is fine. Now, live event doesn't actually matter. There's nothing. But right now we're on volunteers. This doesn't matter towards the broadcasting, but we should maybe try, for immersion's sake, we should try and match it up, because right now we've gone from like nothing to we now have an actual nice entranceway for the wrestlers. We have custom ring aprons and banners, semi-pro video editing capabilities. For broadcast wise, we have a small professional unit to shoot the show now on industry standard equipment. We get good coverage in multiple angles, so it's like we're like moving up massive now. It's went from like nothing to like actually sort of what's the word? Like not quite professionally yet, but like we're getting there. Right, so right now it's family and friends of the workers that help out. Right, let's see if we can upgrade this. So what's it going to be? 2,000 per night of shows, and that's quite a lot. But we employ a small live event crew consisting of a single professional in charge of a team of enthusiastic amateurs. The fans have the best live experience possible. I feel like this wasn't in my costs when I was crunching the numbers to be about 8,000 per month with 2 shows. This wasn't included, so this would move it up to about 10, which is quite a big bump up, but I kind of want to do it. At least to small, I think. We'll just do it. We'll definitely, I'm thinking we'll take a hit going on Wrestle World for maybe the first month or two. We'll take a bit of a hit, but it shouldn't take too long before our ticket prices soar so high it mitigates all of this. Yeah, we're not upgrading it again, not for 5,000 per night of shows, but this is where we're at. Um, it's actually it cost us some money there to do it, almost £2,000 with all the basic upgrades. What's our merchandise looking like actually? We're up to 39%. Once we get to level 5, we'll actually see the monthly sales for our workers, which will be quite good to get an insight onto who maybe should be getting pushed a bit more and stuff like that, who's making us the most money. Right, here we go. It's time. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Wrestle World. We can negotiate. It's very small across the whole of America and Canada. Internet subscription, which means I don't think we get any money, right? We don't get any. We shouldn't get any broadcasting revenue for this. But events, new deal. They're not willing to offer a deal that long. 9 months. Let's do 3 just now. I guess. Probably won't really matter. Sure. Okay. They're happy with these terms. On demand. Can we change this? No. Episodes unlimited. Default. Revenue split doesn't matter, so just do 100. Oh, we can't. Okay, maybe we do then. 55. Sure. Pause. Boom. There we go. We actually have another broadcaster for the Great Lakes, but I don't know. Now that I can put that on 100%, I'm wondering if we actually do get revenue from it. Oh yeah, subscription. I'm an idiot. I literally read that out and I've not read it right. Okay, so it is. So we do make money. It won't be a lot, but 55% isn't horrible. Because I was going to say if it was free, there's also the Great Lakes Syndicate, which is small coverage here, and but it's a public channel, so I don't think we can run both of them at the same. I actually don't know though. But we kind of want coverage on the whole of America, more for our wrestlers to be honest, rather than the company. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I'm gonna pause it here, and we'll advance now to the last show of the episode. The last Kickoff Carnage 50. We are triple threat, Great Lakes champion. We are finishing our tournament and debuting our tag team titles with our first holder, and we're debuting on Wrestle World. So there's a lot. I'm excited for it. At long last. And then before we know it, we'll be hitting small size. We're only a few popularity points away now. So let's skip ahead and get this party started. Okay, it's showtime. The show we've all been waiting for. Well, I've definitely been waiting for. It's our very last ever Kickoff Carnage 50 show. Because this event will ultimately be going dormant. It'll be closing. And probably won't ever be brought back, but a lot of memories in these first ever 50 shows for a company that's brought us pretty much all the way to small size. We're only a couple popularity points off. So we should do it justice by hopefully we can bring in the best show rating we've had for Kickoff Carnage. No one gets the night off. Tonight's venue, we're expecting a little bump. We did get 2 popularity points last month, but it seems like we're only getting a little boost to the attendance, but it is expected to be our highest attendance yet, 688. Generic venue for that. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Finally, baby. Wrestle World to use the broadcaster. I definitely clicked that, didn't I? I feel like this is always fidgety. Our minimum quality, by the way, is 20, which is absolutely no issues for us. Yeah, we should be good. You'll not be able to change your mind. Yes, we definitely clicked them, right? I think. That would be awkward if we didn't. It won't really matter, but I think we're good. Right, booking team meeting. I actually looked at this off camera, and I don't think I can remove myself from the booking team. I think I need to be on it, And if I can remove myself, I have no idea how to. So at the minute, we can only add one of the two new signees, aka the ref or the play-by-play, who's the head booker of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. It doesn't look like we will be able to add them all. Unless I can have 5 people on the booking team, not including me, if that makes sense. It probably won't work that way, but I'll need to do it. We'll do it later. Maybe next episode at the beginning we can go over it. Create. We still have these good character ideas we need to use. Angle idea is looking good. Creative finish not amazing. Let's try maybe get one since we're maxed out. Let's try get. Well, maybe do 2. A bit of a gamble. Okay, let's try and get a near certainty. A safe bet. Right, that should be fine. Right, right, guys. It's not all going to go AWOL on Kickoff Carnage 50, right? We obviously have the tournament finale too. Very exciting times kicking off our second belt. It's definitely been a long time coming, for sure. Pepper Pelton has turned up and requested that he be allowed to hang out backstage. Why do you sound familiar? Pepper Pelton, he has 6 years experience though. He's also based in the Great Lakes. Why does this guy sound familiar? We definitely haven't used him, I don't think. He's actually not. I mean, his psychology's very lacking. He has amazing stamina. His basics are okay. He actually has almost 70-star quality up there. His charisma. He's not hot. He's actually not horrible. He is a people person, so I'll just say sure. Come backstage. Architects running drills. For only 4 students. Why only 4? Is maybe Young and Wasted or working elsewhere tonight? I actually don't know. We don't necessarily need them anyway. Doctor gave the locker room a lift. Spot on impressions. Ellie Star 2 helped create a fun and relaxed atmosphere. Doing some karaoke. Tennessee came to you backstage with an angle idea. Okay, Tennessee. I see you. Nice, pretty good. Incidents address the locker room. We are going to inspire. That's what I've been saving it for, so we best not forget to use it. And the entire locker room is now fired up and ready. They're ready to rumble. And I'm ready to rumble, so let's get this show on the road. Okay, here we go. In front of 690 people. Kickoff Carnage 50 on Wrestle World is finally here. And I actually need to get rid of the tag teams that we're not using anymore. I'll need to try and decide who I want to keep, if I want to keep any of them, because our roster is very inflated. There's so many people left off the shows now, but I don't quite want to move the shows past 1 hour and a half. So we'll see how it goes going forward. But with the complaints of being left off shows turned off, it doesn't really matter necessarily, to be honest. But we're starting off strong. Huge promo to start the show, gets the crowd hotter. We used our angle idea here too. We're pulling out all the stops, gets us off to a good start. Davis actually this time performed well without a script, which is good. Usually he's getting penalised for it. Segment advances, and it's our 3 guys, 3 main boys for tonight. So much history, to be honest, between all of these guys. They've all been here since day 1. They're essentially like the forefronts of our company, to be honest. If we had to put like a Mount Rushmore, for example, these 3 would 100% be on it. And for the first time in a very long time, they're fighting for the Great Lakes Championship, main eventing tonight in a ladder match. And it's basically just a back and forth, as you'd expect, getting the crowd worked up, starting the show with a bang. As we move into a first match and also a rematch, LA Stars and Long Beach Crew were against each other, of course, in the quarterfinals when Long Beach Crew essentially cheated to knock LA Stars out of the tournament. But revenge is sweet, and that's what happens here. LA Stars get one up, get their revenge on Long Beach in 12 minutes when LA Star pins Aces High. Now, we're probably very, very, very likely getting rid of Long Beach Crew. So I thought we would give LA Stars a win over them because they have a lot of pop, but it turns out they have too much pop because no matter what I did, they were not happy to lose against LA Stars, who, by the way, LA Stars have pop, like they're like mid-30s, low 30s, which is good when you weigh it up against their whole promotion. So they're definitely probably going now because their morale um, will be in the stinker. They are good, to be fair. They are really, really good, but they cost quite a lot, and especially now if they have morale issues, it's really not worth it. LA Star 2, by the way, pulls in a 67. I believe our highest ever in-ring performance. We talk so much about the show ratings and the match ratings, but I think in-ring is Architect. I believe one show he got a 71 or a 72. So the fact that LA Star is up there is wild. If you had to tell me when I signed these guys that they would be in no time they would turn into one of the best in-ring performers, I would have probably laughed in your face. But they're proving why they're a formidable force in our tag division. Huge rating, 68, gets the crowd hotter. Good stuff. Huge win for them too. Especially being on Wrestle World and beating these guys, this is huge. Huge opening for them. Then we go into a 69, even better. Tennessee Williams gets the win. He gets a 64 here. Miller Ford, who we haven't actually seen Miller in a while with all the other shenanigans going on, he pulls in a 57. Oh my god. I wonder if this is all being affected too with the fact we have an announcer. You know, this is our first show. Obviously, we have a much bigger production. It's like a totally brand new company, basically. I wonder if that's having an effect on these ratings. You would imagine it would have, but I've never seen Miller pull in a 57. That's way bigger. Our commentary's getting penalised for low experience, which should go away in due course. But yeah, there's like so much going on. History's being made right now. I'm quite proud of how far we've made it so far. But a 64 for Tennessee. I actually totally didn't even think about ratings actually being much better too, with the production going up and colour commentators now. Like there's actually people commentating over the matches. Like, oh gosh, I'm proud. Let's keep going. We also get a 64 rating here for Tennessee. He improvised well. This was more so just to use the angle idea that he came to me with, and it's turned out to be a success, so it's all good. Tennessee wins in a very good match and does a very good promo, so he's getting really good exposure here on this show, doing some really good things. And then we have it. We do pull in a 60, even though the creative finish failed. It's history. History's been made, ladies and gents. The final of the Tag Team Immortals tournament had superb wrestling and great heat. Dragon and Hangman beat the Minnesota Awesome in a cage match in 1446 when Blue Dragon escaped the cage, marking Dragon and Hangman are the first ever PWW Tag Team Champions. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. Very good ratings too. Hangman lacking behind a little bit. No, sorry, not Hangman. Blue Dragon. 64 for Clark, which is huge. Hangman almost hitting a 60. Perry just behind him. So this would have gone probably like 64, 65 if the creative finish paid off. But huge. Papa Swole will be proud. He'll be real proud. Hopefully he can carry on their footsteps and become the second two-time Great Lakes champion in the main event. Who knows? But huge win. Very good match. I'll take it. As we move into another 60, co-main event. Logan against Cobra. Logan pulls in a 59. Wow, Logan's been outperformed by a lot of guys tonight. And ring-wise, he is still negative on his morale, which will penalise his overall performance. We also get penalised for odd heel and face combo, but we don't really care about that. Yeah, I wonder then if the morale issues, I think they might have much more of an effect on your the in-ring performances than I thought. There's no way to know. I know it's a thing. Like, I do know, obviously, if they have low morale, it penalises their overall performance. But I'm starting to wonder if it actually has a much, much bigger effect than I thought. We could actually potentially test this. If starting next month, for example, if I can somehow get Logan back in the green or in the neutral, and then see what kind of rating he gets, and then test it against his last 4 or 5 ratings, and see if there's like a weird, or even just to go back from when he started and see if his in-ring performances have actually been going down rather than up, because he's definitely pulled in 60s before. So I'm starting to think a 59 obviously is not bad. This is a great match, great win for Logan too over Cobra. But yeah, it might be worth looking at actually, more for my own benefit. And then I think we actually go straight into the main event here. Triple threat ladder match. The GOATs of PWW. Please, come on, give me a good rating. Come on, please. Come on, game. Oh, I'm done. In an exceptional match, the Architect beats Papa Soul and Davis Wayne Newton in a ladder match when Architect retrieves the belt. The match was designed so that the wrestlers could go out and try and steal the show. And during the match, we also saw Sasquatch McGraw run in and attack Swole and attack Davis Wayne Newton. So again, to some effect, it wasn't necessarily the ending of the match, but during the match, he was basically a huge hassle throughout. And Architect makes defense number 4. Creative finish was a success. Papa Swole seemed off his game, but still pulls in a 61. Architect gets a 71 and a 68 for Davis. So huge. This match got the crowd buzzing. Huge end to the show. Huge way to close the curtain on the Kickoff Carnage events in front of a record-breaking attendance. A vastly, vastly improved production. You know, cameras, ramp, the whole arena, everything. It's looking sweet as we slowly move into becoming a small company. But 76 is huge, huge win. Architect again leaning heavily on the Blueprint faction influence to help him stay the champion. Oh, also, I didn't even mention, but in the tag match, we actually had Dragon take a bump. It was a stunt bump, but he actually agreed to do it, which was quite good. I forgot to mention that. Oops. I think that's the first time we've had someone actually agree to it, so that was pretty huge. As we pull in a 72, which, I mean, it's pretty much up there with being the best, so we actually do kick off Carnage justice by making it a really, really good show. To be honest, I'm quite happy it's worked out that way. Addressing the locker room. I mean, it has to go to the new champs, right? Even though they maybe don't need it, but it has to. Come on, for the culture, it's got to go. Do you know what? We'll give them a hug. I never do that, but I don't know if they'll even like that. Both just seemed pleased, so that's fine. Money wise, we make $2,000. We paid almost 4,000 out to the workers. Ticket sales are up to 5,500, which is huge. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so broadcast revenue, we actually made 2,000. It doesn't say anything here about costs to do. Yeah, show costs was 3.5, but that number will go up for the per month amounts we have to pay. But if we can get the broadcast revenue up to the point it covers the cost of the shows, that would be massive in terms of sort of softening the blow on money we lose per month. Popularity. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Look at all the yellow. Oh my god. We go up in quite a few places here. We rise in the Great Lakes, which is good, to 33. If we manage to make pop, which we should in November and December, it means we end the year small size, which is huge. Huge progress. And it means we start the new year as small, which will be great as well. To push us on, push us forward, start making money. Because the whole goal, this whole series, the whole goal, the whole thing we've been tunnel visioned on is getting on WrestleWorld. And now we've done it. And we're just about to hit small size. So we'll need to now think ahead at what the next step for us will be. What's the next thing in mind? There's obviously lots to do. But what's the next goal? But you know what? Huge, huge show. Huge end to the episode. We now have our second belt. We're about to hit small size. We are now broadcasting it on Wrestle World. We say goodbye to Kickoff Carnage and we say hello to our TV show, which I will be beginning. I think we'll actually maybe only run one show this month. Maybe I've not decided yet. Well, I mean you'll find out next episode, but we'll see. Just so we can start the TV show on a fresh month. I'm not sure. Um, Maybe we do like a farewell show, one more Kickoff Carnage show, and rename it or something. I'm not sure. I'll decide later. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time.